Anyway, what was your first reaction to hearing Pusha T's new single, Diet Coke? I guess we could say featuring Kanye West, but it was produced by Kanye West and 88 Keys. You saw the video?
Yeah, it's a really dope record. You know how I feel. It's on message. It's spot on.
It's spot on. It's on message. I think the only critique that I've heard from it or about it, negative, was Pusha T's talking coke again, you know. But
I wasn't even about to say that. My only critique is that it's not "if you know, you know," which is now cultural, like lexicon, like type of stuff that you say. And here's what I mean. So I got a homie, Andrew. He's from New York.
mm-hmm.
He's standing outside Spark Steakhouse, Mike, and he's got the W up on his shoulder like this, but the caption says, "If you know, you know." Now you know what he's talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's referencing Jizz's Killer Hills 10304. You know, restaurants on the takeout chaos outside the Spark Steakhouse because he got the W up. But in his caption, he's got "If you know, you know." That's how big "If you know, you know" is. It's like pop culture lexicon hashtag reference style of records.
So how often can you do that?
Though? Right. Yeah. So this record is not that. But outside of that, Mike, outside of that.
Does it make you excited for the new album?
I was inherently excited, but yeah.
Okay. I mean, he says album of the year. I believe that. If it's coming from him, and he said the Neptunes and Kanye did a bulk of it, at least last thing we heard. You know, I don't want to turn this into a Kanye West conversation, but I am, because you know what? I think that, you know, people have been very critical of Donda production-wise, and I think I've said this on this show before. I feel like when it comes to Kanye being able to make the hip-hop records that we want to hear, or the classic hip-hop, he can do that in his sleep. He's proving that again.
Oh, yeah.
He can do that in his sleep.
Oh, yeah.
When he goes out there making his own stuff, he's experimenting. And he's trying things. And when it comes to, yo, I got to make this record for this person, let's get it. Let's get it done. Because that right there sounded as fresh as you're going to get. Right. I mean, same thing happened with Otis. Like, we thought he was on some other shit sonically when it came to, you know, the sounds he was using and all that. It's like, you know what? Let me dial this back.
Okay, so let's just have an honesty and a clarity moment.
Mm-hmm.
I do not love his production on Watch the Throne. I don't love it. It's dope. It's not like, oh my God. It's not. The most memorable beat on there he didn't even make. Let's keep that in mind.
Right. The most memorable song on there, you talking about Niggas in Paris?
Yeah. Hello.
You know what? That's a production. I didn't really like the beat on that like that.
I said memorable.
Okay.
Most memorable beat
I think
on
the best. Well, all right. Some of my favorite production on there, and I think again, the production on Watch the Throne was experimental too, right? And I think a lot of the
like he's been experimenting for a long time. Then when are we going to get some?
I mean, whenever he wants to. I mean, like I said, whenever he wants to give you a Daytona, he gives you a Daytona.
Right.
This right here. Whenever he wants to get you a Pusha T project and get it in the way that you want it or he wants it, he can do that.
We don't got time for that other shit.
I mean, look, I don't mind people experimenting. I don't. I like it, actually.
I mean, no, that's cool.
But again, I come from the school of Outkast.
I'm going to need you to experiment to desirable results or comparable results for what your capabilities say that you can do. Like, because what really happens with you're saying, oh, well, I like the fact that he's experimenting. What you're saying is that this shit ain't that dope. Because if it was dope, we wouldn't be talking about the experimentation part of it that much now, would we?
I think there are some dope moments on Donda. I'm looking forward to hearing what Donda 2
There are
brings
dope
about.
moments on Donda. There are. No, there truly are. There are really dope moments on Donda. There are album of the year moments on Donda. But it's not anywhere close to being an album of the year contender for 2021.
Shout out to King He, sending a super chat of $1.99 says, can y'all check out Galvin and review her albums? Yeah. Send the link and we will check that out. Okay, listen.
Shoot us the info.
Yeah, shoot us the info. All right, this is the thing, man. J Mar says, let's not give Ye all the credit for this beat. It was 88 keys. Let's not do the Dre shit.
Shady.
Dr. Dre or Andre 3000?
It's
Whatever.
shady.
Either way, same concept. Listen, I said 88 keys produced as well. But let's be real, man. Like, when Kanye's involved, Pusha T, Kanye, we know what to expect.
He's masterminding this, he's masterminding this. It feels like Pusha T and Ye, if you know what I mean. I'm sure 88 Keys contributed, or he might even like provided the drop or the bass line. I mean, like, I don't know, but you know, it feels like Kanye and Pusha back at it. No denying that.
And you know what? And that's why when it comes to talking about all-time producers in hip hop, I really give Kanye a lot of points. And I think that we take away a lot of points from him because he's an artist, you know, unintentionally, right? We start looking at the stuff in his personal archive. But when you look at a producer in hip hop who takes on an artist and gets the best out of them, it's not many people that we can name that do it to the level that Kanye does. He's gotten the best out of Pusha T. Will you agree with that?
In what regard are you saying, Mike? Because I told you, like, I felt the way that most people feel about Pusha T now, since Daytona, is the way that I felt since Hell Hath No Fury, which is produced by the Neptunes.
I love the Neptunes. You know, they're my favorite duo in the past 30 years on the production end.
Who made Grinding for them?
Of course.
Mr. Me Too.
But see, the thing is, though, Coop, Grinding as a song and as a beat is bigger than them. Whereas when we talk about having an identity, I think that Kanye West and Pusha T teaming up with Kanye West has made Pusha T an elite as an individual.
I think it's brought him elite attention. That's what I'm saying. Because the elite performance is there. And I bring up Grinding because here's what I remember about Grinding. I remember every MC more famous than them grabbing that beat and rocking with it over mixtapes and not sounding as dope as them on the record. And that was him. That was Malice and Pusha T before I even considered them to be all-time great. So I seen it early. Like, I seen it's like, no. He still sound better on that beat than guys like Exhibit and Jay when they was rocking the beat. So it's been there.
It's their song, you know what I mean? So it's always going to be...
Nobody trying to hear that, though, Mike, because you're talking about them being bigger than the song. I'm saying when bigger guys stepped on the song that had bigger stature, they didn't take the record and make it theirs. It still remained their record because they sounded the best on it. It's been there. Y'all are just taking notice because Ye's involved. That's my whole thing.
No, I've been a Clips fan, but let's be real, though.
Mike.
You're telling me that there are songs on...
Yes. Keys Open Doors is better than What Would Meek Do. Yes. Yeah.
You're telling me his mic performance on Keys Open Doors...
Yes.
...is better than if you know, you know.
Press one button, let the wind fall. Who gonna stop us? Fuck the cops.
I don't know, man. The games we play is tough.
Seeing my life through the windshields of choppers. I ain't spent one rap dollar in 3 years. Holla. Money's the least. Drag the bitch by a dog collar. Now ho follow. This is my ghetto story like champagne. It's the Don Dada. Open the Frigidaire, 25 to life in here. So much white you might think your holy Christ is near.
I love the album. I love the album. Coop. Yeah, people in the chat are saying, nah. J Mar says fact. Listen.
But that's what I'm saying. How many of y'all know all the bars to Hell Hath No Fury like me? How many of y'all know all the bars to Daytona? Y'all started paying attention when Ye came along. He was rhyming like that since Hell Hath No Fury.
I don't know, man. You know I'm a big Pusha T fan.
He's not putting in better mic performances on Daytona than he is on Hell Hath No Fury. It's just the album is put together better. The song structure, the sequencing, he's not better. He's just as good.
I don't know, man.
No Fury. No, Mike, I'm not.
Hard Piano is crazy, man. Never fall in love with a... I don't know, man.
Mike, a 4'11 Cuban helped us weather the storm. The truth always wins. Yeah, the truth always wins over just flexing on the mic. That's why I'm telling you, Hell Hath No Fury is his seminal. Mike, he'll tell you Hell Hath No Fury is his seminal performance because of the truth involved with it. He'll tell you that.
Maybe it's the songs that are better on Daytona. Maybe I'm sold on that part of it. But
better. The songs are put together.
And again, you know, let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it all the way real, because a lot of people are talking about Malice and Malice possibly being better than Push on Hell Hath No Fury, yada yada. Even with any of that being said, Daytona is just Pusha T. So it's a little different when you share an album as a Clips member and you get your elite status by being an individual.
I'm only going to quibble with you about that because here's what I'm about to submit to you. It's about the same number of bars out of him on the albums because one album is 7 songs long, the other one is 13. It's about the same number of bars, so it's not.
No, I feel you about the number of bars, but just holding down the individual songs yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like the games we play is, man, that's epic.
No, because. Well, can I tell you the truth? Hell Hath No Fury sounds more like his record than Malice's too. That's why I say it's one of his seminal performance. Like a lot of these records sound like records that he started that Malice got on. Like how we feel about some of those Big Boy Outkast records where it's like, man, Big Boy actually kicked that record off and that's his hook and that's him and that's going on Hell Hath No Fury. The intro song, the Wham Wham.
What it do? What it do?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people in the chat are saying they thought that Malice was better than Pusha. Now, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you.
They're epic on there. They're epic on there.
On Lord Willin', I think Malice was clearly better than Pusha.
Malice is better on Lord Willin'.
Now, when it came to Hell Hath No Fury, it was very balanced in that way.
Pusha's delivery had just gotten so sick. Like they were equal as lyricists, but Pusha's delivery had pushed them ahead, in my opinion.
Ain't Ya was my shit too, and not to mention,
Nightmares with Bilal. That's what I'm saying. Like
Nightmares is cool, yeah. I like Pusha T over. I'm gonna be perfectly honest, man. You know me. I love the Neptunes. I like Pusha T over Kanye's production better. I do.
Mike, I mean, to be honest with you, I think we just need more verified evidence because you're saying that off 7 records when we got like 30, 40 Neptune records to go off of.
That's not the only song that Kanye's made. I mean, those aren't the only songs that Kanye's made.
How many records they got together, Mike? About 15 maybe? Because Neptune's got about triple that. So, you know what I mean? It's like, if they had the same number of records together, would you say that? Because Neptunes have done some pretty epic stuff with him.
They have, straight up. I mean, the Neptunes are the Neptunes.
You can say the songs are better, but don't tell me the MC is better. The MC been spitting like this since Hell Hath No Fury. I'd like to thank you for showing up to something that all of us as heads knew a long time ago, before Kanye was involved.
Nah, Kanye's a beast.
But if you ahead, you know that he was like this before Ye got involved. That's why I don't lean on Daytona when I lean on him as MC. It's like, no. It's been like that for a long time. If you want to talk about the quality of the album, oh, yeah, we can bring Ye into that. But if we talking about the MC, no. This guy's been all-time great for about 15, 16, 17 years.
You know, it kind of, and I hate to compare it to this, right? But I think that the type of production that the Neptunes make, at least at that time, it was kind of limiting for an MC to a degree. And it was like when Lil Wayne was working with Manny Fresh all the time. It was going to take him to get away from Manny Fresh a little bit and start rhyming over some other things to get to that next level. And it's like, when you're rhyming over the Neptune stuff, it's always going to be the Neptune stuff, if that makes any sense.
No, it doesn't, because the beautiful thing about Hell Hath No Fury is that it doesn't sound like the Neptunes. Right.
Well, I don't know. I think it does. Maybe that's me as a fan. I mean, Mike, you know what I'm saying? Because I listen to all of that stuff heavy.
Mike, if you take Pharrell's vocals off some of those tracks, you don't tell... Mike, let's go back to Keys Open Doors. Don't tell me that you believe that's a Neptunes record if you didn't know who they were affiliated with. Stop that.
I could hear Keys Open Doors and...
Nightmares?
Yeah. Nightmares, definitely. Like the drums they were using.
Like, we got it for cheap intro?
Yeah.
Mike, you full of shit.
No, I'm serious, man. Like that. I mean, listen, I know the Neptune stuff, man. Like,
you think, Mike, okay, whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
What, you don't think that stuff sounds like Neptune
Like
tracks?
Mike, Nick. Okay, Mike. Let's go to Hell Hath No Fury and
Okay.
show me the Neptune's tracks outside of Hell Hath No Fury that sound like anything on Hell Hath No Fury. Show them to me right now, live.
I'll get them back to you.
Yeah,
I'll get them back
you
to
ain't
you.
gonna
Because
get
I
'em
want to
back.
listen to everything side by side. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just spout off stuff because you're naming some tracks with different range. Now, as far as Nightmares go, like the stuff that they were making during that time, like the drums they were using, it did sound like some other, stuff that they had done. Now, granted, they got in their bag with that because that's probably one of the best rap albums, if not the best rap album that they produced from beginning to end. But
It's their best
again,
rap production. Yes, it is. It's their best rap production.
I'm a big fan of their Nerd production album wise. When they put together full albums, I loved, obviously In Search Of. That was one of my favorites, but the second album, that was my shit.
I'm saying just the beats on Hell Hath No Fury is blowing those out the water. Just the beats.
Nah, man, I'm not gonna say that.
Like it's
Fly or Die, nah.
Assault with a deadly weapon.
Fly or Die was tough, man. Fly or Die was beautiful.
Mike, there's not a beat on any of those projects that's better than the 3 best beats on Hell. Like Wamp Wamp. Mike, you don't love Wamp Wamp?
I like Wamp Wamp.
Crazy, Mike. Come on.
I don't think I like it as much as you do. Like
Ride Around Shining? Mike, Ride Around Shining? We ain't even talked about Ride Around Shining.
I like Ride Around Shining. Like I said.
You keep talking about you like these records like these beats are just okay. These beats are not just okay.
Listen, man, I like them. I think I don't love them like you do.
This is them like going, like you understand, this is like Neptune's going like primo group home style beat wise. Like that's what they did on this project, except for the MCs are better. That's where they are like zone wise. They're where like primo is on group home living proof. That's where the Neptunes are beat wise on Hell Hath No Fury. You're just downplaying like, I like the nerd stuff. Nobody listens to that nerd stuff. People be playing Hell Hath No Fury.
I love the nerd stuff. Oh, let me ask the people in the room. Y'all play Hell Hath No Fury like that?
Well, nobody want to hear that nerd stuff, Mike. When we talk about the Neptunes, don't nobody be talking about no nerd albums.
Man, I'm gonna be honest, man. I love the clips. I can't tell you the last time I went back and listened to Hell Hath No Fury, but I will today.
I keep telling you, it's the best rap album nobody ever talks about. I don't understand why.
I think that's probably because it's one of your favorites.
No, it's just there.
I feel like that about a couple of albums.
It's not missing anything, though, Mike. It's not missing anything.
I think it might be one of your personal favorites. You think it's a classic. You're ranking it 5 out of 5.
Mike, there's literally nothing wrong with the album. What do you want? You want high-level MCing, flows, delivery, vocal patterns. You want hit records. You want street records. You want dope beats. You want great engineering. You want production. You want guest appearances. What do you want out of a great album? It has all the components of a classic album. And every time we have this conversation, nobody can give me anything about it that says that it's not, because it is. Tell me about what about this album is not all-time great.
You know what? Nightmares and Allure do sound similar production style-wise. Allure from Jay.
What year is Allure?
Allure's 03. So,
3-year gap. Allure. No.
We do have to also factor in
Allure's a better beat, actually, if we're, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know.
But again, man, and kind of like what Kanye was saying when he was talking about Jay, like, I ain't really want the introspective Jay or whatever, like, when I hear Neptune tracks, I'm more of a fan of what they do other than stuff like Allure. Like I wasn't a really huge fan of Allure like that production wise.
That's what you're saying.
Give me the La La La. I'll take La La La.
Right, you want that happy Neptunes, but what I'm saying is that this production job is a tougher pull for them, and the fact that they pulled it also masterfully is why the album sounds so beautiful, because it is the Neptunes. You're like, Neptune's doing gritty street beats like Ride Around Shining and Keys Open Doors instead of records like Beautiful and La La La. That's my point, Mike. The records don't sound like that. They sound great hip-hop primo style records. It's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like Neptune's going primo. You're never going to get that out of them again, because you're never going to get them around guys talking like that they're going to back like that, talking that way. It's because, you know.
Well, listen, man, the Neptunes are my favorite collective for a reason. I mean, their versatility is off the charts, and they could do whatever the assignment calls us for. But when it comes to production that fits in the vein of what Pusha T does, I'm more of a fan of the combination of Kanye with him than them. Because even with him saying that Kanye's doing a majority of it, or Neptune's, it's just them two. I would rather it just be Kanye. I mean, I'm not really looking forward to. I hate to say it like that, but yeah, if I had to choose, I'd rather Kanye take on the whole album as opposed to it being a half and half thing. When it comes to Pusha T.
Hey, Mike, I just hold closer to me the things that are harder to put your hands on again, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is that even when I hear this record, the Diet Coke, I can reference, if you know immediately, style-wise, aesthetic, I can see what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
There is no other reference point, production-wise, from the Neptunes about Hell Hath No Fury. That's part of what makes it so special. It's a one-of-one production job out of them. You're not getting that production job out of them again. You can get this production job from Kanye and Push every 2 or 3 years. So there's proof to that. That's why I'm saying it's like I don't hold that as special. I hold what I know I'm never going to hear again special, because guess what, Mike? Hell Hath No Fury came out in November of 2006. Those guys haven't made a beats like that since. That's what I'm saying.
Everybody in the chat says I'm bugging. So, maybe I'm bugging. I'm going to go back and listen to Hell Have No Fury today. And again, I'm a super fan of all parties involved. I'm a Chad and Pharrell fan. I'm a Malice and Pusha fan. And I had the album. I bought both their first 2 albums.
Mike,
did I have To the Casket Drops too? I think I might have. I was listening to it. Shit.
So the Casket Drops is a borderline classic, Mike. But here's what I'll say. Here's what I remember about Hell Hath No Fury. I remember Jay having a record out around the same time, and I thought it was whack compared to this album.
That was Kingdom Come.
Mike, I remember Nas having an album out around this time. Compared to this album, I thought that album was whack. You want to know why? Because it was. That's that Hip Hop Is Dead shit that he had dropped. Remember that?
Chinese New Year's hard. Nah,
Chinese New Year's is different. I'm at your door. Your eyes are like,
now that shit is hard.
Right.
That Neptune beats crazy, man.
That's crazy. Yeah. Mike, the only person, Jeezy's album came out, I was like, this ain't holding up next to this Clips album. The only person that released the album around the time that was even remotely close to it was The Game with Doctor's Advocate.
What about T.I. with King? That was 06, right?
That's 05, wasn't it?
Nah, that was 06.
Okay. That was, T.I. had that early part of that. T.I. had the early part of that year in the summer on lock. That's what I'm saying. Hell Hath No Fury dropped November of 06, like end of the year going into 07. And so some of T.I., like if I'm not mistaken, Why You Wanna was starting to fade off the radio when the Clips album dropped. So you feel me? So T.I.'s kind of buzz was starting. So I wasn't considering him in that. I was looking at the guys that had dropped albums right around that same time. I'm like, Nas shit trash compared to this. Jay shit trash compared to this. Jeezy shit trash compared to this. Game, I'm the only one close to this and still not fucking with this. It was like that.
You know what? That missed me too, though. Production-wise, that shit was hard.
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah. Like I said, man, I like the Re-Up Gang, all that. You know what I'm saying? The Cry Now, so...
The full-length cat when I wave the kitty purrs. All my niggas caked up, selling gray and beige dust. Had that money right to end up in the trunk taped up.
You know what? You're right.
We only race for bucks. Peel money folds till our thumbs get the paper cuts. Mike, that's 06.
Yeah, that's what you're right. Saying. And he sounds like the same rapper.
That's the same rapper.
That's the same rapper.
Right. Yeah. That's the same guy rapping on Mr. Me Too that's rapping on If You Know, You Know. Don't tell me that guy's better because Ye's here. That's all. Just don't tell me he's better because Ye's here. He was all-time great then.
Daytona Special.
Yeah, Daytona Special.
Daytona Special. His mic performance on there, he was in a zone. But again, Pusha's so consistent.
Yeah, he's been in a zone.
It's tough to decipher.
Right, Mike. Yeah. He's in a zone until the casket drops. He's in a zone on his first solo project, King Push. Like lyrically, like he gets in zones relatively easily. That's why I have him so high.
I was gonna say,